correct. Alright, so you all land Lipovka, which is... I mean, maybe with the faceit settings, Lipovka isn't too bad, but normally I feel like when Knights or TSM loot this, they only have one guy looting here, or two guys max. But with these settings, it's probably fine to loot everyone, I guess. It's not so bad. Should be okay. Yeah, luckily you have a lot of vehicles this game around you, so it's nice. 2 uses, 2 buggies. Third buggy over there. It's actually a shit ton of vehicles. Is it 2x? Yeah, it's 2x. What's the looting phase? Alright, first circle comes up. I guess you don't really play Lipovka, but let's say for this case you always play Lipovka. And that loot, you should always have a foundation of how you want to rotate in the first circle. So wherever you loot, every circle that you see, you normally have a plan, like a plan A, or plan B or plan C. But like ideally in this circle, when you come up, let's say you want to play lumberyard, right? Like that's your main spot that you go early and rush, and you play that every single time there's this circle. Or you can go shelter, you can go warehouses, you know, you can go prison. You should have a fixed spot that you like playing. The closer to mid, the better. In this case, there is a team already mentioned prison, so it kind of makes it a little bit tougher for you. Because normally when the team play Lipovka in competitive games, the Lipovka team has prison and mansion. So you already have all of this control, kind of like, and there's no one around you. In this case, it's a faceit game, so people are like dropping it randomly, so you are getting surrounded by people. So you got to be careful and play as 4 as much as possible. You don't want to be sending someone early in this specific circle and this specific drop. So I don't like, for example, using the scouts to drive in first, that you can do in other circles in other situations if you have it clear. But in this case, I want to see everyone looted, getting their cars and moving together. Because if you do get shot by one of these guys who are looting split, you can 4v1 him, you know? Whilst if you're one guy alone, it's just going to cause issues. So ideally here, I'll probably go 4 guys and drive to prison. Or 4 guys drive to lumber mill, east side. And then scout all the way with the towers, deeper. And then play from there. Get info and play from there. That's how I probably would play it. I'd rather use a lumberyard because in this circle, it's pretty good to play. And then you can push prison later if it goes north side and scout that side. So this would be my priority number 1. Priority number 2, probably prison. I mean, it doesn't mean you're going to end there. You're going to scout deeper. Like ideally, if you can get shelter or one of these 2 compounds would be really key. Warehouse wouldn't be too bad either, but you could like take that path to scout deeper, pretty much. You were gonna go to this compound but got contested? Okay, I see. So Baradon is done looting. It's taking the US. This is... I mean, if he stops in this hill, it can be okay to scout further. But if he's going deeper to the yellows without... Oh, I don't like this. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this play. Like I said earlier. And look, he's as soon as I stop, they're getting shot. This is really bad from your teammate Baradon. He looted the warehouses and he's... I guess he's going somewhere mid. Is he going warehouses or heaven? Wherever he's going, I don't like it. He should be with you guys. Loot entirely. And if he's fully looted, wait for you guys. There's no rush for him to be going alone deep, especially with the US alone. When you seen a team land around you. So I don't like that already. He should have just carried on looting a little bit more. Give you guys loot. If he was fully kitted, he can just give you stuff or whatever that you guys need. So I would have rather seen that. Now that he's going alone, he's driving in between teams that you already know they've all dropped around you. Or you should know if you were looking around you guys. So he's driving alone in between a lot of people and he's got into a situation where he's getting shot. And he could go down here pretty much with the US. I mean, look at the angles they're getting. Not the greatest. It's a bit YOLO. Like, this is like super old school... Season 1 where people just wanted to rush mid, so they would send one guy. Some teams do this, right, where they send one guy still in like super early or 2 guys, and it just causes more issues than actually helps you in the long run. Because let's say Baradon does end up getting warehouse, like alone free, right? Let's say he gets there with no one shooting him. These guys never spotted him. They were still looting the compounds. He drove free to warehouse. He said it's free. He scouts it, whatever. He gets there, it's free. And then you guys come in like a minute later, and then this team is like running across here. Like it's just gonna cause you more issues if you were down one player. You know what I mean? Like it's not worth it in my opinion. It's always better to have 4 guys and rotate together. So he got shot. Luckily he survives. I guess we don't see where he goes because the replay is 1 kilometer. But yeah, not the biggest fan of that. Magic Ketchup is actually getting really close. He's gonna steal one of your USs, which is not good for you guys as well. He stole the US. Whilst you guys are gonna grab buggies and a Dacia. I mean, you have a 2-seater, right? Is that a 2-seater? Or is that just a guy running? Never mind. Looked like he jumped on a 2-seater. Yeah, he stole your US, which is... You had 2 USs and you had the Dacia that one of you guys brought in. So now you're gonna be forced to drive 2 in the Dacia or drive buggies. When you could have had that US, would have been really good. So he stole your US, which is not good from you guys. Ideally, when you landed, you should be grabbing your vehicles, at least the strong vehicles. Okay, if it's a buggy, like if I'm landing on Lipovka and there's a team around me, I want to take the good vehicles and drive in and loot. If it's a buggy, I just like whatever. You know what I mean? Like when it's a buggy, I can fit 2 guys in a Dacia or 1 Dacia, 1 buggy. It doesn't change too much. But USs or Dacias or bikes, you wanna secure. So you didn't really secure it that. You let someone else take it. Yeah, you did it with Eastwood Dacia. You did it perfectly, yes. You did good. You took the Eastwood Dacia. Everyone in the team should be taking cars and looting. That should... Like, the only time you jump and you loot the city is when you're gonna get contested. Is when you don't go for cars. So whenever you play a competitive game, let's say you loot school apps, let's say you loot Pachinki, Primus, whatever you loot. In the first game, ideally you want to secure the loot spot, right? So you're going to jump, and if you're jumping Pachinki and no one's around you, you could go for cars, right? If you fly in and you see no one, you should all go for cars. Like that there, like all the possible loot spots as cars, you split out, get the cars, and then drive in. If you have another team coming with you that's flying with you, you should all go Pachinki and take the fight. Always take the fight, take the loot spot. Then the second game, if the team doesn't come, you go for cars. But if it's free, you should always be going for cars before looting. It's priority number 1 because 1, you secure the car just in case like what just happened here, and 2, you're more prepared to leave. If you have a cars outside Lipovka and you jump inside Lipovka and then loot and then run to get the car, like you're wasting time when you could just parachute in, get the car, drive to Lipovka, which is a faster travel time, and you save yourselves a couple of seconds. And a couple of seconds in PUBG is very crucial, so you want to be doing that. Okay, so now you 2 are driving in and your teammates is looting a crate, which is kind of okay. A little bit too far, but whatever. Okay, so Baradon actually ended up going to what I said would be one of the most ideal spots in this game, which is these 2 compounds. He scouted it early. Luckily enough, it was free, but let's say in another situation, another team is looting farm. He's alone, he drives in there and he dies, you know? You could have done this as 4. Like, you didn't really need to rush it so much with Baradon. IMO. You could have done this with 4, like, stopping Lumber Mill, driving to the Wizard Tower, driving a little bit deeper. Yeah, it will take you a longer time, but you're going to be as 4, secured. If there's a team, you take a fight, and then you scout this down here, you grab the compound, you scout further, you grab the compound. It's going to take you maybe a minute or so, but... I'd rather be doing that as 4. Even if you see teams there and you still end up playing Wizard Tower, it's still a really good spot and use 4. Baradon, sending him alone here is risking him dying for spots that... yes, it's probably one of the best spots in this circle. It's not that worth it, you know what I mean? First circle, you could still outplay later anyways. I'm doing good, Donwise. How are you doing? I said that in the first break. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm going to repeat what I say, obviously. But I'm probably going to be repeating a lot, but yeah. It's super important. I like the split. This is the common split you do in this circle. Standard. Splitting nowadays is a lot tougher than the old days though, because the old days, the settings, the version 3 settings in competitive games, people played way more safe and way more for positioning. Nowadays, since kills count more, people tend to be in a bit more aggressive. So if they see people that are splitting, they will probably try to take advantage of that and maybe breach you and stuff. But if you both have visual eyes on each other, like this isn't too bad of a split. This is the furthest away of a split I will do. But I would only do this maybe for first 2 or 3 circles. After that, I want to group up though as 4 on whichever side is the best. So I guess you're all looting, trading loot and stuff. That's fine. This is a replay that I'm doing of a competitive game from KygoBeast. He's playing a faceit game and he wanted to break it down on that game and see what they did. Okay, second circle and it shrinks east. This is perfect for you. And the reason I say this is perfect for you, because right now you probably think, oh, this is a really bad circle. Yes, technically, yes, because you had the bang in the middle kind of the first circle. It would have been ideal if you went center, but you know, this is PUBG, you're not going to get every circle. But this is like probably the worst best circle you can get, because you looted Lipovka and you just came from that location. So this east side is going to be the most free out of every circle, all of this circle, right? The hard east. Because now you can blindly rotate through kind of safely because you just came from there and you looted from there. So this is really good. You can drive into lumber, you can play prison. Ideally, I would play prison here. That would be my number 1 spot. Number 2 would be around lumber mill area. West wizard tower would be pretty decent too. Those 3 would be the most ideal right now. So somewhere in lumberyard, west prison, east prison would be pretty decent. The compound as well, east of prison, is not so bad. But I'd rather take the actual hill. So you could easily rush prison hill right here, right now. You're taking your time though, which I don't get it. Why are you taking your time? So you're not moving, you're not rotating. Okay. I see. No one's rotating here. So that's mistake number 1, I guess. Or number 2, the mistake number 1. I mean, the first mistake was not landing on cars. The second mistake was sending Baradon in for early. This is the third mistake, not rotating in this circle. Go deeper. If this shrunk west, I can understand sometimes playing edge, because you don't have info on west, and that's where majority of people are gonna be on the west side, the north side in this circle. But you just came from east. You had info from east. You rotated from east, and now it shrank east. I would rotate. Go through blind through here to prison. Just all drive together. Up, all this way. If you see it's free, you can stop. If you want, pit stop first, just for security check. Like, I would still drive to prison because it's the info that you had, but you can security check, maybe stop here and just scout further into prison and go down there or play here. I wouldn't stick here. You're already playing edge on a circle that you have info. So, but it is what it is. You decide to stay. Now everyone's gonna get into a center position. Ish. Okay, you stop splitting, which is, you know, you're playing edge. There's no point splitting that point. This compound is better than the west one. And don't get me wrong, this isn't like too bad either. Like, this isn't a bad spot in the circle. This is actually can be an okay spot in the circle. It's just not the best spot in the circle. And it, like, you had the advantage of being in the best spot. And when I mean this, that you're not in a bad spot right now is because you can actually push uphill. You have this control, and all of this is like played on foot, right? All this, because it's just a hill, a massive hill. You can play this all on foot. So you can, if it shrinks east, you can push above, push from wizard to wizard and go to lumber mill. Like, that is a playable on foot. It's not so bad. You can do a lot of play on the circle just by running up here. So it's not too bad. It's just like you were in a better spot up there. That guy knocked himself, I think. While I was driving, or did you guys knock him? Wasn't paying attention. There's a lot of people here. It's pretty stacked. Holy shit. Keeping track of how many people are alive here is really good. Obviously in a faceit game. In a faceit game, you don't know who's with who, right? I mean, all the magic guys have a tag, so that's good to know. But all these guys don't have a tag, so you don't really know who's playing with who. I mean, if you do, that's fantastic, but it's keeping track of kill feed in this situation is really, really crucial. In a competitive game, obviously people, when I play tournaments, they have tags, right? So this could be, you know, Liquid, this could be TSM, and this could be, you know, let's just say for now, Magic. Keeping an eye of kill feed because you're hearing the shots and seeing who's shooting. I guess you can figure out that these guys are trading. Is really crucial. Everyone should be looking at the kill feed, but having maybe one guy focused a lot on the kill feed would be ideal as well. So he can keep track of who's finishing who. So in this case, let's say team number 7 end up wiping team number 3, and you see the names go down. But team number 7 lost one. Let's say they're 4 guys, but right now they're 3. Let's say they lost 1 player. You know when you push up, it's going to be a 4v3. If they lost 2 players, you know it's going to be a 4v2. If they lost none, you know it's going to be a 4v4. And you treat that differently when you have to push. Obviously, if they have less players, you can be way more aggressive. If they have more players, you got to be more aware. So it's good to know to keep track on kill feeds in situations like this, especially when you're not really doing anything. You're just going to be waiting in compounds. You're not in any action. You're not in any situation where you got to do something else, you know? This is a perfect time to hear those shots and keep track of the kill feed. So for later, it's going to be crucial for you. One of you goes to the wizard, which is fine as well. So yeah, that frag grenade, I heard it, and Magic lost 1. So I would like, that's the only team that has a tag. I would see that Magic lost 1. So later on, if I ever get into a fight with Magic, I'm 100% knowing that they've lost 1 player. Like, this is actually a really good skill to have of learning the kill feed. That a lot of even maybe pros don't really focus too much, is seeing how many people are alive on the kill feed. So we saw the frag grenade killed on a Magic. Now they're down to 3. If I see any of more Magic knocked down, I'll remember it and I'll try to add that into my memory, so later on I can use it. But let's say these teams wipe, you push up and you fight Magic and you knock one of Magic, you'll instantly know they're already down 1. You got a knock and they're 2 alive, you know. So it's really good to know. Wait, this is a new circle, right? Okay. So new circle is really, really freaking good for you guys. You still are more or less where you were. Kind of edge. Or is this? Yeah, this is a new one. Right? Yeah, it is because prison was like dead center before. This is like really, really good for you guys because the dead center now is lumber mill and that's playable for you on foot. You still have cars, so if it shrinks Milta, you can kind of rotate that way with cars if you want to. And then every other shrink, you're going to be playing on foot here. This is going to be a footsie game. If it shrinks on you, obviously you stay. If it shrinks east, you just push up. So you actually, even though you're kind of edge, you're really good here. I like it. Yeah, you're seeing people there. That's fine. You're just trying to get kills now. That's the only thing you're focusing on, is getting kills, waiting for the circle, and getting as many points as you can. You saw another Magic get knocked here. We'll see if they get finished. Yeah, they got finished. Another knock. 1 got finished. So they're down to 1 left. Which you'd probably wipe anyway. So that info goes away, but it's good to know, you know? I don't know too much about specs, especially laptops at Torek. I'm sorry, man. We're watching a faceit game of KygoBeast. There's a lot of... This is... more fights going on the east, by the way. A lot more fights. You already heard that Magic was fighting to your east and they all wiped. Well, initially you heard the team of the Wizards, right? You heard the team of the Wizards, which was not Magic. And one team abandoned, so they never wiped. It was team number 3 that were there. I don't know why would they leave. They left the position. I guess they were trapped in a sense, so they were scared and run away. But you had one fight, then you heard Magic get wiped in the kill feed as well. You saw it. You should have seen it in the knocks and stuff, and you should have heard the stuff to your east. And now after that, the same people that wiped Magic, high suspect on them, are fighting again. Losing players, are trading. Herky knocked high suspect and wiped him. Then Herky got knocked himself. So your east is actually a huge fight that people are losing players left, right, and center. So this is even better for you. Now your east is going to be kind of really weak, which when it shrinks that way, you're going to be running on foot. It's good to know that there's going to be no full teams there. So Herky's team survived with only 2 in this situation. It's hard to tell properly because they don't have tags. If they had tags, you would know this team here would only have 2 in this situation. Let's say if it was Liquid, you know, and you saw that kill feed, you would see Liquid, you know, Ibi and James and Jempty and Samty. You would see the names and it's much easier to track who's who and stuff. So in that situation, you would see that they're only down to 2 in this case. So you can still keep playing here. You don't really need to push up yet. You can always push up later because you know they're weak anyways. So you can still keep on holding the edge and get kills. I am 24 to your west. So circle, you're again edge, and yeah, I would still be playing here. There's argument to like you can say like you can go deeper mid. They were fighting, they lost players, but you're still in the circle. You have a team that's west of you that's outside the circle. Shelter, you can't really get them anymore. They'll be out of LOS, so there's not much you can do about them. But in this situation, I would hold the edge, try to get some kills, and then push in later and take third parties or whatever and go deeper. But with the action that you heard east, with this circle, you're actually really, really good. They're going to rotate with cars. You know, you tried, but they're going to get away from you. And now, once that team is away from west, you can start running up together. There's not going to be anyone else coming from the west. There's not potentially going to be any more kills. So you can start making your way up and try to get a position kind of before Shelter might do before you, but... You go to the wizard, which isn't too bad. You know this team is here, and you're kind of trying to skip ahead of them, which is pretty okay to do as well. I would imagine you know they are 3 guys with the vehicles and the stuff you saw rotate. I don't really mind this too much, but if they already have this building, there's not much you can do per se by going in that wizard. It's kind of the even. If you could have taken this before them, it actually would have been really good. If you were like a few seconds ahead of them. Like 2 guys at the wizard, 2 guys at the garage. Then you're trapping them. Then they're forced to play that compound. The circle's going to shrink and then they don't have much to do after that. But here it's not really much to per se trapping them. I feel like maybe you're trapping yourself in this wizard when they play that garage. So you're probably better off pushing the shack and pushing this team. But yeah. One of you gets knocked, they rotate to the garage. Wait, what do... Wait. Oh no. What did Ski do? Oh no. Yeah, when it gets stuck on a door like that, you don't want to jump back on the bike. It's gonna blow up, yeah. He blew up, so you should have heard that. You should have heard that from here. Info that you got. Eski killed the Eski with vehicle explosion. You should have heard it. You figure out it's them. You already knew there were 3 guys, right? When they rotated, there were 3 guys going there. Then one of them explodes. You're now 4v2. You could push. It's not the easiest push, but you could have 2 guys holding... You could have 2 guys holding the windows, and then you can send the cars in, or even run per se. Ideal is I would move the vehicles. Hold 2 guys holding the windows, and then just pushing in the vehicles closer. And then 1 more guy in, and 3rd guy holds, and then push in, and you can 4v2 that if you want. I would definitely be pushing this if this was like PL settings, because you're 4v2 and it can be pushed. So especially if you get a knock, like if they're peeking you like kind of aggressive, you can wait a little bit and wait for a knock and then push, just to be like super safe on your breach. So if you do get a knock here and you don't breach specifically after hearing that vehicle explosion, then yeah, you're not paying attention to kill feeds. I mean, not even kill feeds, you heard the explosion. So you should have seen that. You had the smoke you couldn't hear? Let me see if you can hear the smoke. I want to see if you actually hear this or not. From your perspective. Maybe you don't hear it because of the smoke, so you could be right. I think you do still hear it though. It could be the vehicles moving at the same time. No, I think they stopped moving before that. Maybe someone talking. Yeah, it can happen. It can happen. I'm not saying like it can happen. It's pretty loud though. There was no smokes and stuff going on here. Someone could have spoke at the same time when that happened. Don't get me wrong, it can happen, but you know. Then that guy's microphone is way too loud. You know? So that guy exploded. Should have heard it. You know that even down 1 more. And now one of you guys gets a knock. There we go, that's a knock. Now you can push. If you knew there were 2. But you're waiting. If you don't want to push, you can also just push, get into a better position now when the circle shrunk. But they are outside the circle. You can start holding them. But yeah, ideally, you heard the... Let's say you didn't hear the vehicle explosion, so I can understand why you didn't push, but... if you did hear the vehicle explosion, you know they're down 1, you could do the push, wipe them, and then start getting position. Because now you're waiting for them. You're getting knocked by them. Because they have better eyes than you than you do them. They have way more control than you guys, even though they're 2 guys. Like you're way more limited on your peaks and stuff like that. And for you to leave this area, they kind of see it. Was they can actually escape. They can actually escape without you seeing them. They can actually run down this way, run on foot, and you don't see them. They can go all this way, which they should be doing. But yeah, they move with bikes. So now that they moved east with bikes, yeah, I like the push. Just stick together as 4 now and make the push towards... This area here is actually really, really good, and it's really good in the circle too. So pushing check and pushing this ridge with a rock would be ideal. This spot right now. And maybe having 1 guy just a little bit back just in case, like here. Just in case there's any flankers from the northwest. This would be my setup. One guy in this situation here looking for the flank. One guy around the shack, and then maybe 2 guys around these ridges. I would be playing that split. You don't want to have everyone there because you can have a team or solos or whatever run all the way this way, run all the way, and then they catch you from surprise. You should always have an anchor. You should always have one guy watching your back in a position that gets all the flankers. So. This is a really good winnable position for you guys. Scoom do teams review matches like this? Not many people review matches, to be honest. Like, completely. Oh, and you get this circle. This should be a win for you guys in this point, but I guess you don't win. But yeah. Can I have the pen here? Is there a pen? How do I cancel that now? Okay. So you should have had like one guy here, and like one guy close, and then the anchor on the far back. So he's looking at this direction, and he can look at that direction too, like constantly panning around. You know, this guy is looking towards that way, straight. This guy is kind of holding a close quarters. He's not going to be seen too much. He's just peeking small peaks there and there. And this guy is looking towards that direction. And that's ideally how you want to be positioning yourselves here. And I would probably continue positioning myself like this. But with this circle now, with Wizard Towers kind of in, you can have maybe a player on Wizard Tower. I would probably position myself now, one player Wizard Tower. Maybe even 2 players Wizard Tower. One shack and one here. Because this guy here can have really good eyes on all this. You let no one come here. If these 2 players play here, no one can come here. Because you have really good eyes. I can show you now. Can I cancel this? There we go. Oh, those are still there, but whatever. Like, this is the spot, right? More or less. If you play here, you let no one come to this specific area here. All of this is basically yours, and no one can flank you from the south. So having one guy here would be really good to look at the south and the southwest. I mean southeast, sorry. One in the shack just to support him, just in case he gets knocked or something. You need to have one with him, backing him up. So you can smoke and res him or whatever. Because if he's alone there and you are all wizard, for example, or 2-1 wizard, and he gets knocked, then you have to run all the way there, and then that team could already be pushing. So you want to have one guy there just to support his peaks, you know. So you force everyone to run to the east. You want to force this team that there's here, these 2 teams, you want to force them playing somewhere around here on the east side. All this, you know. You want to be forcing them here, so they all force each other and fight whilst you take control of the map. Take control of the circle. Let me move this quickly. So yeah, you would push up to the shack now. You should see all of this stuff free. These wizards are kind of a little bit limited, but I would still play it because it is in the compound and it is kind of safe. And you can check the north from this location. You can have one and then one at the bottom or whatever, though it's kind of an awkward bottom peak. You can have one here. It's not too much of an issue. You can have one more, I guess, around here still. So I would play either 2 wizard and 2 shack area, or 3 shack area, 1 wizard. It's fine. I wouldn't take the other wizard because then it's just too much of a split. Although it's definitely possible. I don't want to split too much this late game. You need to be a bit more structured together, IMO, if you want to win games. Because splitting it up a bit too much could be 1 knock there, 1 knock here, and then it becomes annoying. Once you're together, it's much easier. So I would like to see you guys stick around here. Maybe send one guy wizard. It's fine if you don't as well. But I don't want to see you all going wizard, all going north in this situation. I want you to take control of the map that you already have on the east, on the whole of south that you can take. So. And now, again, kill feed is super important. Fights are going to happen. You need to keep track of that. THM. Your THM, you know it was a team from the garage. You should know they're down to 2, and they got 1 knock now, so. Just keep an eye on kill feeds. Because it's much easier to do late game because of how many players are alive. So you finally killed one. So one team had possible 4, now they're 3. THM just got knocked, so there only 1 left. This is just by looking kill feed. I don't know what this guy is doing with his prones. I'm not too sure what's going on here. I don't know why he was proning. Because if there is a team up here, let's say there's a guy up here, and your friend over there is proning, there's no grass, so like you get seen anyway. So the fact that he's proning is gonna be easier shots for if there's a guy that just randomly peeks here and sees your. Oh, he alt tabbed. Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense. I can shut up now, I guess. I guess he alt tabbed because that, yeah, that seemed like a really bob play. So he takes a wizard. So you're doing a 1-3 split. I like it. I like this. This is not bad. 2-2 split, 1-3 split. It's all good. Migas holding here. Not bad either. Seeing if anyone flanks around. And then when the circle pushes, he pushes back up. I like it. Perfect. How you should be playing circles. Holding every position that could be going towards you. And playing like that. I like it. Kygo look into his northwest. Paradon looking east. Okay. You're going to have one team pushing you now, which is, yeah. You either get knocked on flush. It's really unfortunate. There's nothing wrong that you did here. It's just one of those situations that just happens. They just pushed us free. You were looking around. You were panning around. And they just snuck up, saw you first. And they insta-flushed you. Which you're going to lose one player in this situation. But shouldn't be really losing more than one now. You have the Wizard Tower control. Wizard level 3 helmet as well and best. Which is really good if he's alone. Ideally, you want to have the lone guy with the best loot. So now he can hold the push to the wizard. He should be pretty good, whilst his teammates now after that knock can push up to the shack. And from here you can start holding them. And they're not going to be much of a threat. You might get some knocks here and there, maybe some trades or whatever, but then they shouldn't be able to push up to you or wipe you. So they're going to be either forced to stay there or they might push back for the north and around. It all depends on that team, but yeah. Yeah, Migas needs to be close to his friend now. Migas has no helmet though. Is he alt tab too? You let them take control here now, which is bad. Wizard Tower guy is not peeking that way either. Wizard Tower guy could have got a peek here and got some knocks as well. Yeah, you're letting too much control out of your hands now. You let go of the control that you had of the position, and you went and gave it to them, and then you just became a safety mode now. You just went to snake mode as 3 guys when you didn't really need to go snake mode as 3 guys. I might understand this play if you lost 2 there and maybe you're down to 2 players, maybe 1 go to snake mode, but if they're a full team, they're gonna stick together and maybe just push every location, and they're gonna 3v1 each one of you in this situation. I think Mega should have pushed up further to this ridge, and you stayed there. And Wizard Tower has a cross as well, an angle. They wouldn't have been able to push up here, you know? So you let control of the circle. I mean, you don't know if this team is 4 or 3, right? You got knocked and flushed, so you could have been a 3v4, but a 3v4, you guys had position, you know what I mean? You guys had position. So now you heard sound cues. I'm guessing Paradon heard one for sure. Maybe Alexo saw one as well, and now Megas is hearing them. So Alexo now is coming with the support to push behind them, which is fine. Megas is proning, so hopefully he gets 1 knock. That's his job here, just to get 1 knock. And then the other 2 can start trading. When they get in position. But Yeah. Okay. Mega saves the day, though. And gets knocked. Feels bad, man. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I still... Thing is, Alexo's really far away. That's what makes this tricky. This makes it really tricky because Alexo's still not here. Wait, Alexo proning again? Hold on. I want to see what Alexo does here. Why doesn't I lock to Alexo? Oh, Alexo sees them. Why does he... He could have taken the shot there, by the way. Why didn't he take the shot here? If he takes a shot here, you guys can start pushing instantly as soon as he's taking the shots. He could have possibly knocked one here. This guy could have been knocked. Should have been knocked. He was really open there. Could have been one knock and then Migas and Baradon, you both push at the same time. That was a perfect situation for him. They were kind of in the open there, and it was easy pushes for you guys in that situation. Because when he shoots, those two guys are going to start looking at him, get distracted, you push up, and you would be super easy angle here on him. And Migas also would have a good angle if he stands up. And you probably could have 3v3'd them, yeah, without losing a player. Yeah. He didn't take the shots, and now he's flanking behind them. But he prones. He's playing it way too snaky. He's playing it way... He's the one that should be the most aggressive of you all. He's the one that should be the most aggressive. He needs to be the fastest one here. He has the best gear, and he has a position. He saw the information, and he's going behind them. But he's snaking like if they're here. But Migas already has the info. They just ran past him. They're 2 guys, 3 guys. He spotted all of them here. He spotted so many footsteps, and Alexo is still proning. Yeah, he's being the distraction, exactly. He shoots from a different area where they all have to turn and they become a distraction and you surround them. That would have been perfect. But... Now Alexo is prone. In this situation, Alexo could have already been around here. And look at the info he would have had here. Baradon, the fight that Baradon gets in, Alexo could have supported. Migas would have instantly supported when Alexo would have been here. And this situation, you wouldn't have lost 2 here. No, I don't think you would have lost any. I mean, you could still lose 1 there, right? But yeah. This could have been there a few seconds earlier. I mean, Migas dying here. It's unfortunate. Now it's down to Alexo. If you're gonna have a solo player, at least you have full level 3, which isn't bad. And there's 4 people alive. You heard 2 shots from that side, so you know one team is 2. It could be a 1v3 or 1v2v1 right now. And he just shot... Okay, so now you know it's a 1v2. I would be pushing this ridge instantly. Instantly. Oh no, I guess he doesn't know about this area. Now it's, yeah, 1v2 when they're close. There's nothing here, like, this is just whatever you do, it doesn't matter. But he had that info of Migas dying to 2 guys and you heard the shots from up here. When Migas died to this guy's here and he heard it, Alexo should have instantly pushed the ridges. He should have pushed here. And then they can't run down. You have full level 3, you're confident, 1v2 or even 1v3. That's like the perfect spot for you. You know? But now you forced yourself into a close 1v2. You hear those two shots? SKS and SLR, I think. Or an AR and SKS. SLR, sorry. Whatever they have. Whatever. But you hear two different gunshots. I'm a noob at gunshots, but you hear two different gunshots. From that location, he should have taken this ridge. Instead of focusing on Hanky there. He could have pushed this ridge pretty easily. Looted though. Because from here, Spotty and the other guy, they have to shoot back, you know? You can peek them, crouch, peek them, crouch, peek them. Also Hanky. In a situation like this that I see a lot of people do as well. When Hanky started shooting the other two guys, when there's 4 alive, you know that they're not free anymore, right? This is actually I see a lot of pros do this, and I kind of slightly cringe when I see it, because they're getting really greedy, and it's like a public claim. I might have done it a few times as well, but I tend not to. I tend to be kind of aware in these situations. Is 4 alive, you see one guy there, you know there's 2 guys that killed Migas, right? So you thought there was maybe a 1v3. You peek Hanky, you peek one guy, and he starts shooting down to the other team. You now know it's a 1v1 versus 2. In this situation, or similar situations, I wouldn't be shooting the solo guy. Specifically if they're more than 2. Let's say it's a 1v1v3 over 1v1v4. If that guy's shooting them, let him shoot them. Let him maybe get a knock. You know, if he kept on shooting and he knocked Spotty, because he did hit Spotty, he could have knocked him. Most likely would have knocked him, right? Now it becomes a 1v1v1. And then you can shoot him. Just wait. Just keep looking at Hanky. Let him shoot the other guys. If he gets a knock, you shoot at Hanky. You finish him, or maybe you don't finish him. But you run to the ridge, and now you're on a, you know, if you finish Hanky in a 1v1 kind of situation with a knock. While shooting Hanky, you basically gave them away, and now there's still 2. And they're going to push you. So, yeah. I've seen that so many times in competitive games where they just shoot the single guy that's shooting other guys. You should be helping the team that has the least threat, you know? The threat right now is the 2 guys, kind of. So you should be helping to eliminate that threat first. Use like quote unquote teaming, you know, to help yourself. Also, what is Alex doing matching those shots with a level 3 vest and a helmet? Yeah. So you guys had a really good spot here. I mean, Kygo died, unfortunately. Then you kind of played a bit defensively. I would have been playing a bit more aggressively here. You had a really good spot. You had a really good crossfires. You didn't really need to give it up. Like, you can still give it up, but Alexo should have been playing really aggressive here. So, yeah. Overall, it wasn't too bad. But a few tweaks here and there. Paying attention to kill feeds. You know, the first rotation that you guys did, you could have gone deeper because you came from there. You know, play with the information that you have and play accordingly. And then just some minor things, end game, to pay attention. But overall, it wasn't too bad. I think you guys played it pretty decently. Maybe the second place secured them with the overwin and $2 million. I mean, yeah, I mean, in the situation like that, but you still want them to knock, you know? You still want them to get a knock, but yeah. And it's a 1v2, it's pretty hard to play out. No matter how good you are, always, it's tough. He has level 3 helmet too. If you land that shot, that would have been a 1v1. So brave. not bad. Alright. We are done with that.